Tesla has always been a company that thrives on constant change. Whether it's small software tweaks, interior refreshes, new trims, or entirely redesigned models, Tesla rarely sits still. That's part of what makes the brand so exciting. You can buy a Tesla today and feel confident that it's packed with cutting-edge tech, strong performance, and industry-leading safety. Naturally, that also creates the assumption that the newest version is always the best version to buy. Most of the time, that assumption holds true. But this time, things are different. Right now. There are several very real reasons why buying Tesla's latest versions might not be the smartest move. In fact, depending on what you value most, choosing the newest trim could actually mean getting less for your money. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that is, focusing primarily on Tesla's newly released cheaper trims, especially the Model Y standard, and why upgrading or even looking at older trims might be the better decision. And before we dive in, a quick thanks to Novium for sponsoring today's video. About a month ago, Tesla officially unveiled what many people had been waiting for: cheaper versions of the Model 3 and Model Y. These trims were teased, rumored, and hyped for a long time. A lot of people expected a dramatic price drop or a truly budget-focused Tesla that would bring in an entirely new group of buyers. Instead, what we got were trimmed-down versions of existing cars that are cheaper, yes, but not nearly as cheap as many hoped. The Model 3 standard looks mostly familiar, with only minor changes. The Model Y standard, however, is a completely different story. Tesla made extensive changes to both the exterior and interior, and while some of those changes might look appealing at first glance, once you dig into the details, the compromises start to add up quickly. Let's start with the most obvious factor: price. If you're paying cash, the Model Y standard starts at $39,990. The Model Y Premium jumps up to $44,990. That's a $5,000 difference, which translates to about a 12.5% increase. On paper, that's a meaningful jump, and most buyers would reasonably expect that the differences between the two trims would be fairly minor. But when you actually compare them side by side, the list of missing features in the standard trim is surprisingly long, to be clear. The Model Y standard is not a bad vehicle, still a Model Y, and that means it comes with many of the things people love about Tesla. You still get excellent safety ratings, a comfortable cabin, generous cargo space, and a powered hatch. There's the large central touchscreen measuring over 15 inches, which remains one of the best infotainment systems in the industry. The car is fully electric, quiet, smooth, and extremely easy to live with on a daily basis. You also get 2 wireless phone chargers, multiple USB-C ports delivering up to 65 watts, aluminum and premium textile accents, power-adjustable front seats, ambient lighting in select areas like the footwells and door pockets, 8 exterior cameras, hands-free power trunk operation, and touch-screen adjustable air vents for the front row. Comfort and convenience features like a heated steering wheel. Tesla's active safety systems, built-in entertainment apps, the Tesla mobile app, trip planning, dash cam, and Sentry mode are all included. On its own, that sounds like a strong package. But now comes the important part: what you don't get. The first major difference is range. The Model Y standard offers an estimated 321 miles of range. The premium version pushes that up by about 36 miles. That's not insignificant, especially for drivers who frequently take road trips or live in areas with fewer charging options. What's interesting, though, is that the range loss on the standard model isn't as severe as it could be, largely because of the smaller 18-inch wheels. These wheels are more efficient and help offset the smaller battery pack. However, if you decide you don't like the look of those wheels and upgrade to the 19-inch wheels, which comes standard on the premium trim, that's an additional $1,500. Once you do that, your range drops to around 303 miles. At that point, you're looking at a potential 54-mile range difference compared to the premium version. When you consider how Tesla values range across its lineup, that extra mileage alone could easily be worth around $2,000, and that's a theme that keeps repeating throughout this comparison. When you start assigning realistic dollar values to each missing feature, The premium trim begins to look like a far better deal. There's also a design consideration with those standard wheels. They're clearly engineered to be used with the aerodynamic covers installed. Without the covers, the wheels don't look particularly refined, and efficiency takes a hit. If you do buy the standard trim, keeping those covers on is almost mandatory if you care about both appearance and range. Performance is another area where the difference becomes noticeable. The Model Y Standard goes from 0 to 60 in about 6.8 seconds. The premium trim does the same sprint in roughly 5.4 seconds. That 1.4-second gap may not sound huge on paper, but behind the wheel, it's absolutely noticeable. Tesla even sells an acceleration boost for the all-wheel drive Model Y that costs $2,000 and improves performance by just a few tenths of a second. By that logic alone, the performance difference between standard and premium could reasonably be valued at around $2,000. Charging performance also favors the premium trim. While the standard model is slightly more efficient due to its smaller battery, it actually charges more slowly at superchargers. Peak charging speed tops out at about 225 kilowatts, compared to 250 kilowatts on the premium version. Tesla estimates that the standard model can gain around 160 miles of range in 15 minutes. While the premium can add closer to 182 miles in the same time, it's on long trips that difference matters. Then there's the sound system. In the standard Model Y, you get 7 speakers and no subwoofer. The premium trim upgrades that to 15 speakers, including a subwoofer and Tesla's so-called invisible speakers, which are designed to blend seamlessly into the interior while delivering much richer sound. Anyone who cares about audio quality will immediately notice the difference. A premium sound system like this would easily cost around $1,000. Or more as a standalone upgrade in most vehicles. Connectivity takes another hit in the standard trim. There's no FM radio at all, while the premium includes it. Neither trim offers AM radio anymore, but for some drivers, FM is still important. That missing feature could reasonably be valued at several $100s. Rear seat passengers also lose out in the standard model. The premium trim includes an 8-inch rear touchscreen that allows passengers to control climate settings and entertainment. The standard trim doesn't have anything back there. While it's not essential, it's certainly a convenience feature that adds value, likely around $400. The roof design is one of the most controversial changes. The standard Model Y uses what Tesla calls a closed glass roof. In reality, the glass is still there, but it's covered with a textile liner. That means you lose the open, airy feeling of Tesla's panoramic glass roof, while still retaining the risk of glass damage. The premium trim includes the full panoramic glass roof, which has long been one of the Model Y's standout features. That alone could easily be valued at $2,000. Interior lighting is another downgrade. The standard trim gets basic lighting, while the premium features wraparound ambient LED lighting that dramatically improves the cabin's atmosphere at night. This kind of lighting package would typically cost around $500 in other vehicles. The steering wheel is manually adjustable in the standard trim, whereas the premium gets a power-adjustable steering wheel that saves settings to your driver profile. Again, not a massive feature, but one that adds convenience and polish. That's another $500 or so in value. Interior materials are also simplified in the standard version. You get basic textile decor, while the premium features a combination of microsuede and textile accents that feel far more upscale. Seating is another big difference. The standard model uses textile and vegan leather with heated front seats and manually folding second-row seats. The premium trim upgrades to perforated vegan leather, heated and ventilated front seats, power folding and reclining second-row seats, and heated rear seats. That package alone could easily be worth $2,500. Air filtration is another area where the premium shines. The standard trim uses normal air filters, while the premium includes a HEPA filtration system. For people with allergies or those living in polluted areas, this is a significant upgrade, worth at least a few $100s. Rear climate control is also more advanced in the premium trim, with touchscreen adjustable rear air vents instead of manual controls. On the exterior, The standard model comes with LED headlights, auto high beams, and manually folding side mirrors. The premium trim adds LED light bars, adaptive high beams, power folding mirrors, and auto dimming functionality. These lighting and mirror upgrades dramatically improve both aesthetics and usability and could easily be valued at around $2,000. Ride comfort is another major differentiator. The standard Model Y uses passive shock absorbers, which results in more body roll and a less refined ride. The premium trim features frequency-dependent dampers that adapt better to different road conditions. That's about a $1,000 upgrade in most vehicles. Finally, there's driver assistance. The standard Model Y only includes traffic-aware cruise control. The premium trim includes full basic autopilot with auto steer, a feature Tesla used to charge thousands of dollars for. Based on Tesla's own historical pricing, this feature alone could be valued at $2,000 to $3,000. When you add all of these differences together, range, performance, charging speed, audio, comfort, materials, lighting, suspension, driver assistance, it becomes very clear that the $5,000 price gap is more than justified. In fact, the total value of the missing features far exceeds that amount. That's why, for many buyers, the standard trim simply doesn't make sense. Before we wrap up, a quick word about today's sponsor, Novium. Novium creates high-end, design-focused products that blend science, art, and functionality. Their hover pens are inspired by spacecraft design and literally float at an angle using precision. Engineering, no electricity required? The hover pen Interstellar even won a Time Best Inventions award and floats at the same angle as Earth's axis. There's also a premium version featuring 18-karat gold plating and a real meteorite fragment embedded inside. Novium's pens aren't just conversation pieces. They're refillable, well-balanced, and genuinely enjoyable to write with. They also make fantastic gifts, arriving in elegant packaging that's ready to give. If you want to check them out, use the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Don't forget to use the discount code shown. At the end of the day, Tesla's newest trims might look appealing at first, but once you dig deeper, it's clear that newer doesn't always mean better. Sometimes spending a little more choosing a different configuration can get you a lot more value.